Welcome back. Last time we talked about some foods that should help you sleep better, but today I wanted to take a step back and give a comprehensive overview of all of the amazing things that happen in your body while you're sleeping. For most of human history, scientists thought that our brains and bodies were dormant during our sleep, but as technology and different studies have advanced, we are constantly learning more and more about the amazing things that are occurring while we are dreaming. So today we'll discuss the 10 most important benefits of getting a healthy sleep, and if you stick around until the end, I'll briefly cover 5 things that might be preventing you from getting those benefits. So jumping right in, the first benefit of healthy sleep is maintaining or losing weight. One study in particular showed that adults getting less than 7 hours per night had a 41% higher chance of obesity. This can be attributed to a number of factors, but just to highlight a few, when you have poor sleep, this can result in an imbalance of your hunger hormones, and when you have more ghrelin than leptin, this will make you feel hungry when you do not actually need to eat. Other factors include a reduction in your metabolism, as well as the increased likelihood to crave sugary or high-fat foods. Along the same lines, benefit number 2 is a reduced risk of developing type 2 diabetes. There have actually been over 30 studies that found that if you are sleeping fewer than 6 hours a night, your risk of developing type 2 diabetes increases by 18%, and if you are sleeping fewer than 5 hours per night, that actually jumps up to an increased risk by 48%. Sleep deprivation can cause a wide range of physiological changes, but the particular link to type 2 diabetes is developing insulin resistance. Moving on to brain function, the third benefit is improved concentration and productivity. One great example of this is a specific study that was done on physicians. It found that doctors with a range of moderate to very high sleep deprivation levels were anywhere from 54% to 97% more likely to report making significant medical errors. Conversely, good sleep can maximize your problem-solving skills and increase your overall mental clarity, which will allow you to much more efficiently attack your tasks at hand. Not only is sleep important for your day-to-day brain function, but benefit number 4 is better long-term memory. Many sleep scientists agree that your day's worth of knowledge and experience is all temporarily stored in what's called your hippocampus, and during certain stages of your sleep cycle, this information is actually transferred from your hippocampus to more long-term storage centers in your brain. Some of the most notable studies on this were done on students, which resulted in an increase of memory retention and recall by up to 40%. Moving on to a different portion of the brain, number 5 is better emotional states and social interactions. Without proper sleep, you're going to have a much more difficult time controlling emotional outbursts, and not only that, but it's actually going to affect your ability to respond to humor or even show empathy. All of these effects on your brain's amygdala mean that proper sleep is going to be very important for maintaining your personal, professional, and even romantic relationships. Not to mention the fact that if you're sleep deprived, you're going to be much less likely to go out and be social to begin with. And this brings us right into benefit number 6, which is a reduced risk of depression and anxiety. Of course, those dealing with depression and anxiety can find it more difficult to fall asleep than others, so it's unsure which one comes first, but I think it's important to note that people with sleeping disorders like insomnia or obstructive sleep apnea, which is pretty intense snoring, report much higher rates of depression and anxiety than those without it. Moving on to the physical body, benefit number 7 is maximizing your athletic performance. Numerous studies have shown that sufficient sleep is key for improving your fine motor skills, your reaction timing, muscular power, endurance, and even your quick problem-solving capabilities. Conversely, when you're sleep deprived, you're not only less likely to partake in exercise the following day to begin with, but if you do, you're actually much more prone to injury. Another important benefit for your physical body is benefit number 8, which is better heart health. Across 19 different studies, analysts found that sleeping fewer than 7 hours per night on average resulted in an increased risk of heart disease by about 13%. And this risk continues to get higher as you get to less and less amounts of average sleep. And this is likely because sleep deprivation causes a lot of stress on your body, which results in a higher heart rate and even an increased risk of high blood pressure. Second to last, benefit number 9 is reduced inflammation. Quality sleep is really important for the regulation of your stress response systems, such as your sympathetic nervous system and your hypothalamic pituitary adrenal or HPA axis. And an imbalance in these systems is known to activate some undesirable signaling pathways in your body, which can lead to high inflammation markers in things like interleukin 6 and C reactive protein. And chronic inflammation is known to cause the development of many different conditions, from cancers to heart disease to even Alzheimer's. And last but not least, an all encompassing benefit is number 10, a healthy immune system. One particular study was done on healthy individuals and reviewing the activity of their natural killer cells. These natural killer cells identify and destroy any unwanted or dangerous elements that are found in your body. And this particular study shows that even after just one night of only getting 4 hours of sleep, the activity of these natural killer cells was reduced by 70%. So hopefully you learned something new today and you don't feel too burdened by a lot of this information. The key takeaway here is that we should really be prioritizing our sleep. So we've now learned that the quantity of your sleep is very important, but since you stuck around, let's quickly discuss 5 things that are going to reduce the quality of your sleep. Before we jump in, if you're enjoying this content, make sure you subscribe so we can continue helping you harness your health. So the first sleep quality ruiner is caffeine. Caffeine stays active in your body for a really long time, so the general rule of thumb is to not consume any for up to 6 hours before your bedtime. Even if you are able to fall asleep, the caffeine will actually restrict your body from entering deep sleep stages, which are really critical. Far too often, caffeine is combined in the evenings with the second sleep quality ruiner, which is alcohol. Even just one single drink a few hours before bed has a significant effect on your rapid eye movement or REM sleep. This is the deepest stage of your sleep where the most critical processes take place. Although we don't promote day drinking, the more time your body has to clear the alcohol out of your system before falling asleep, the better. The third thing you should avoid is vigorous exercise before bed. Although you should be looking to get at least 30 minutes of exercise per day, if you do it right before sleep, you may struggle with having a raised body temperature, heart rate, and blood pressure. And all of these things actually need to be calming down in order for your body to enter into sleep. Next up is for those of you who maybe like to listen to things or watch television as you fall asleep, and that is light and noise. The bright light from your phone or television is going to disrupt your circadian rhythm, and the audio is actually going to keep your brain partially awake. And both of these are going to make it difficult for your body to fall into REM sleep. Last but not least, one major sleep disruptor is eating and drinking before bed. It's best to stay hydrated throughout the day so that you can reduce your liquids a couple hours before bedtime and avoid getting up to use the restroom. You also want to avoid having a large meal before bed so that you can avoid things such as high blood sugar, discomfort from a full stomach, and even heartburn. Thanks for sticking around. If my next video is up, you can check it out right here. Otherwise, feel free to leave a comment letting me know that you've subscribed, or if there are any other topics that you'd like for me to cover in the future. I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of you.